post. Do you guys notice something different about me? Do you notice something different? It's so incredibly bright. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back into the Word Garden, your weekly podcast show, whatever you want to call it, series where we talk all things reading, writing, pop culture, and anything else that comes to mind, okay? Think of this as your weekly hangout, your little weekly key with me, your host, Nicole, and you are my co-host. Thank you for being here. Thank you for finally clocking in. God. You're late. No, just kidding. Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome. We are in episode 2, and I'm gonna speed straight into the topic for today. What is Summerween? Who's gonna tell me? Who was gonna what is Summerween? Have you guys been noticing? I got my iPad today instead of the computer. Have you guys noticed that Summerween has been popping off lately on, well, I don't know. I only watch like booktubes. I don't know anywhere else, but like booktube specifically, everyone's like Summerween reading vlog. Summerween? What is that? So I looked it up for those of you who don't know. I looked it up and I pressed record because I need the people to know. So Summerween is actually a Disney Channel original like little thing that they were doing. Started back in 2012, and it is essentially Halloween in summer, right? Hence Summerween. Okay, y'all didn't see that coming, did you? I certainly did not. Why are we doing that? All right, let's discuss. Like, why are we doing that? Summerween? Come on. It's not even like, we're in end of July. But here's the thing, and this is why I bring it up right now, and I feel like this is why it's popping off right now. I'm seeing it more, is because we are on the cusp of fall. Like, what is fall? When does it start? Like August 15th, August 20th? We're right there, okay? By the time I'm recording this, it's August, it's July 29th. So it's about to be, literally by the time you see this, it's either July 31st or August 1st, okay? By the way, weekly episodes of Into the Garden on Fridays, every Friday, and Into the Word Garden, okay? And then every other Thursday, I'm gonna have a booktube or a reading blog or something along those lines. Keep an eye out. Yeah, by the time you guys see this, it's gonna be either like, I don't know, July 31st or August 1st. So we're basically in fall. So this whole thing is confusing me. We're in Halloween, we're in Summerween. We're about to hit fall. Did you guys have a hot girl summer? Like, do y'all remember summer? Did summer happen? I feel like I'm just starting to get into summer. Like this week, my self-reading. Well, one, it's the Odyssey. Let's walk it all the way back. Have you guys seen the Odyssey yet? I need you guys to do that immediately. Go and put pause on this. Go ahead and watch the Odyssey. Drive to your local theater. Okay, we got to keep theaters open. Go say hey to Zendaya. Go say hi to her man, Sister Tom. Go ahead and do that. Say hey to Matt Damon for me and the Princess of Genovia while you're at it. Super, super good. Loved every little bit of that. Definitely enjoyed the humanity in which Christopher Nolan, like the lens that he decided to use, which was a very human lens of taking the fall of Troy not as a triumph, but as like the first thing, or I guess the first step in the fall of humanity. An invisible line was crossed. Spoiler alert on the Odyssey, guys. The story's been around for 2,000 years. Go ahead and get on that quickly, please. But what am I talking about?
Girl.
Oh yeah, my reading for this week, this is relevant, is Ali Hazelwood's Problematic Summer Romance. Like, I'm just now getting into summer romance reading, and now we're on Summerween. Anyway, are you guys participating? Go ahead and put down in the comments down below if you're even participating in this. I'm really curious, like, what are you guys reading? What's going on? Of course, right? An aspiring content creator immediately thought about making content about it, which I guess I'm kind of doing here, but we're just hanging out. I'm just talking to you guys. Like, we're just having fun. But I thought about making like a little Summerween list while I'm with you guys. So we will definitely be doing that. But go ahead and put down in the comments below if you guys participate in Summerween. I feel like this is the first year I've noticed it. And I've been like a voyeur on YouTube for a very long time, team. Like a really long time. The fact that this is the first time I'm saying this is kind of crazy. Definitely decided to fit the vibe though. Okay, I got my, I don't know, poncho? It's not a poncho, it's like a sweater poncho. But I have that on because your girl loves black. So I love the like semi like corporate, not really goth but alt vibe. I do love that. Least goth, least alt person, you know, but I do around the Halloween fall time. Love that style, so I'm bringing it back for this podcast. So while we're here, I did want to go over like what I would read, like what is my Summerween reading list, which I pre-set up for you guys. So first up on my Summerween reading list, so you can kind of do not take this as recommendations because I have not read these, okay? Don't take it as a recommendations. I have not read them. This is my reading list, like my TBR, to be read, if you will. First on my okay. Before we go into that, so Summerween, I had to actually look up the difference between like Summerween and fall. You know what I mean? Like it all bleeds in. And then what's the difference between Summerween and Halloween? I don't know. So I'm basically just taking this as an excuse to read or to put like feminine gore and feminine horror on my list. And just some straight up horror. Actually, that's not true. I don't like horror. Yeah, I'm looking at these and none of these are horror. Let me stop lying. But like a little bit of feminine gore, like a little, there's just a tiny bit of feminine horror, which that feminine horror sounds ridiculous, but my definition for that is basically horror and gore light that is in a feminine or feminist lens. Okay, it talks about the plight of womanhood plus horror. Girl, did I explain that right? Guys, whatever. Anyway, first book on my list is Her Body and Other Parties by Carmen Maria Machado. First of all, love Latina. Latinas do so well during Halloween. Like, I can Mexican Gothic. There's this one cowboy, I have it around here, like a Wild Wild West vampire, ranchero romance that I have around here. Like, Latinas tend to do so well around this time of year when it comes to our books. Power to that. This book right here is a collection of short stories by this author that it maps out, once again, it maps out the realities when it comes to women and our bodies in the world, like how we exist within them, how other people interact with it, view it, whatever the case is, through horror, right? Telling that story through horror. Not gonna say more on that because I don't know much more on that, okay? But this is number 1 on my reading list. Number 2 on my Summerween reading list is The Night Bitch by Rachel, I think it's Yodell. I need to read that one, okay? I'm a couple years behind BookTube. I know I am, but I have to read that book. Basically, that book is about a woman who, I believe she became a mother. She's a mother, and as she loses herself to motherhood and just to the realities of her new life, she slowly becomes a werewolf, which is very, very I'm like, it's appropriate, it's relatable. It's not relatable, I have no idea, but I am interested in reading it, and I'm interested in just seeing how it unfolds. I don't know much about it, so if you know anything about it, go ahead and put it down in the comments. I don't know much about that book, but I really like the idea. I really like the premise. I don't go out of my way to read dark things at all, so this whole like Summerween thing that has popped off, apparently it's a yearly thing. I'm just now noticing it. But this whole Summerween, I guess, era that we're in, I don't know how to describe it. It's popular right now. It gives me an excuse to put a whole bunch of like gory and horror books on further up on my TBR. The next book that I wanted to mention that I want to read is What Moves the Dead by T.J. Kingfisher. I know nothing about this book. Let's look it up while we're here, because I actually know nothing about this book. But T.J. Kingfisher, almost every book that he writes gets nominated for a Hugo Award, which, if you don't know what a Hugo Award is, it's the highest like level award you can get as a sci-fi fantasy writer. So just anything he writes, I'm interested in reading. So let's go ahead and look up what... Okay, What Moves the Dead is a 2022 gothic horror novella by T. Kingfisher. Oh my god, it's she! Oh, I'm an idiot sandwich. Ugh, of course it's a woman. Yes! Yeah! Nice. Retired soldier Alex Easton rushes to the remote country estate after hearing their child Madeline Usher is dying. Oh, it's a chilling retelling of Edgar Allan Poe's classic story, The Fall of the House of Usher. Interesting. The estate features a dark pulsing lake, strange fungal and mold growths, and hares and wildlife possessed by a hive mind. Oh, this is so fun. The next book is... Alchemised by Sen Lin Wu. Girl, I talk about this every time I pull this book out. Look how big this thing is. This is insanely big, like an insanely big book. It's also a previous fanfiction. And basically it was written first as a very popular Dramione? Hermione and Draco pairing fanfiction. Actually, it's called Manacled. I never got around to reading that because this scares me. It's not that it scares me, but it's a big read, obviously. I mean, I'm looking at this and it's over it's about 980 pages. I think it pushes 1,000. Yeah, it pushes 1,000 pages. So I never got around to reading it. By the time I was like, I should probably get on Manacled because everyone had been talking about it for like 10 years. It got published. So this is on my, if not Summerween reading list, definitely on my October, like Halloween reading list. I'm not sure I don't think this is horror or gothic per se, but it is dark. And you know, every Halloween and every fall I have to read Harry Potter. Sorry, I know how we feel about the author, but I have to. So reading a published work that is, you know, was inspired by Harry Potter seems right. For those of you who don't know, this book is essentially what would have happened if they had lost the war. So if Harry was never able to defeat Voldemort, like what happens if the Death Eaters won. And the main character, who I don't know her name, is the Hermione character, and the love interest is the Draco character. I'm pulling my notes back up to make sure we're like on track. I've never been a big fan of Draco and Hermione as a pairing. Like I've never really, I mean, when I was younger, yeah, I would read whatever I could find online for free. So like Harry Potter fanfiction was part of that, but I was never a fan of Draco and Hermione, which is odd because, you know, we love the whole enemies to romance, enemies to lover trope. I love it. The girls love it. I don't know why we love it so much, but we do. Okay, there's something the tension, there's just something so amazing in watching two people overcome differences and like come together and learn how to come together. Here's my thing. Is Draco Malfoy, one, he was like 17 or 18 by the time the last book came around, and he was highly traumatized as a child. So as an adult now, have a hard time thinking about this, but is he redeemable? Like he was a child, so yes, but I have a hard time with romances when that level of bigotry is involved. Like the whole Draco and Hermione thing, like you're overcoming deep systemic racism, like bigoted views, literally calling her slurs, like thinking of her, right, Muggle-born, so her quote unquote, whatever you want to call it, race, group, demographic, as lower than low. Like that's a big jump for enemies to lovers to overcome. So I have a hard time with Draco, Hermione, Dramione? I have a hard time with that pairing in general. I'm not necessarily interested, but I am interested in this book because I do believe, if I'm not mistaken, you go ahead and you can add a little hint in the comments down below, but I think that he works as like a double, like a spy. I don't know, we'll see. But this is on my list of what I want to read this Summerween, which is basically just like a glorified fanfiction, positive connotation, right? Non-derogatory. It's so interesting. Actually, next on my like what we got on the docket that I want to talk about is just touch on the fanfiction to New York Times best-selling novel pipeline that we've had going on, like really had going on in the past couple years. My first experience with seeing that in real time, like I know that 50 Shades of Grey was a Twilight fanfiction. I do know that. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, City of Bones was a fanfiction as well, or started that way. See, now we're gonna find out in real time if that's true. Oh, okay, I see. So this was so City of Bones was another another Harry Potter fanfiction, basically. Period. Oh, she was on fanfic.net and she was on Wattpad. This is off topic, but I've heard that Wattpad has ads now, and like capitalism has won. Like they've defeated us. They've finally defeated the fangirls, because what do you mean Wattpad has ads? Disgusting. Like we'll literally throw up. But yeah, more of the story is, I know that these famous books and these very well-known books kind of like started off as like fan fiction, right? Which is essentially was inspired, these storylines and these plot lines were inspired by characters that they love. The first time in my time that I saw it happen in real time is Ali Hazelwood's Love Hypothesis. So back in 2017, I read an author called Ever So Reylo's story on Archive of Our Own. I think it's either called Left-Handed Kisses or Two Left Feet, Hand Over Feet, I don't know. It was something like that, but I read it. It was very popular and it was very good. I'm pretty sure on Archive, if you look through that information system and filter, it was #1 on hits, so on most read. Read that one, whatever, years pass, and then 2020 hit. I was a healthcare worker during 2020. Rough year. Rough year, of course, for everyone involved. But I think by 2021, so by the time things started dying down and we were able to go out a bit more, but just with masks, I went to the library. It was a Barnes & Noble, so it wasn't a library. We went to Barnes and noticed that there was a book where the characters looked mighty familiar to me. Literally looked at it and I was like, oh my god, that's Rey. That's Rey and Kylo Ren. They're not hiding this even a little bit. So I looked at it, I'm like, this is Rey and Kylo Ren, that's crazy. Read the first chapter in that Barnes & Noble's, girl, it's the exact same fic I read in Archive of Our Own. This is the same thing almost verbatim. They even kept look. And again, this is not derogatory. Okay, write your stories, get yours. We're all artists and we get inspired by things that we love. Something about the enemies to lovers, Kylo Ren and Rey is a fantastic pairing. Or let me rephrase, because I understand Kylo Ren is beyond if I was talking about Draco being beyond redemption, Kylo Ren committed, he killed Han Solo, so yeah, I understand. But there was so much potential there. I think that's what has people, maybe that's what it is that has fans, the girls, women, whatever you want to call it, people interested. What gets them so stuck on these enemies to lovers is the potential that's there. And I feel like Kylo Ren and Rey was not adequately handled. They were not I don't even want to talk about it. More of the story is I like the enemies to lovers like Kylo Ren and Rey. Not a fan of Draco and Hermione, but again, I don't know, apparently, and being racist, completely two different things that one is better than the other. I don't know what it is that makes me feel like Draco, I'm ugh, irredeemable, ew, he called her a slur. And then Kylo Ren being Kylo Ren and being an actual Sith Lord, I'm he can come back, you know what I mean? I'm he can come back. More of the story, this was my first experience with the fan fiction to New York Times bestseller pipeline. Literally read this online years before. Did I still buy it? Of course I did, because I'm gonna support authors. But yeah, this was crazy. So it's just so interesting how that's happening more and more. I know that a lot of people have thoughts in regards to just I don't even want to call it plagiarism, but I know people have thoughts about it. Fan fiction, depending on who you are and the authors, some authors don't like them at all. A lot of authors get their start on it. I personally am pro fan fiction, if anyone cares, mostly because it gives writers, young writers, a space to practice your craft and post and share it and get real-time feedback, and that to me is incredibly important. Of course, there is something to be said about the quality of writing. You can tell that fanfiction writing is that style of very simplistic. This is of course nuanced and a generalization, but that style of writing that is very simplistic and very to the point, and then those romance tropes and what we're seeing pan out, you can tell it comes from teenagers and young adults and then older adults just learning these things on their own and kind of seeing what the audience loves and then taking that and running with it and seeing what works, because it works, right? You can kind of see that they're all, I don't want to say looking the same, but everyone's borrowing from each other. Ali Hazelwood's books, I'm trying to think, there's a couple others that I can think of off the top of my head. That one author who did a Hosier romance book that she doesn't talk about, all the contemporary romances that have the cartoonish people in the front, it all feels the same to me. So I think that's where that comes from. I don't know if any of that made any sense, but I do think we're kind of recycling the same style, the same type of writing, the same tropes, and then just basically taking what works and running with it. I'm gonna put up the amount of Reylo, Rey and Kylo Ren fan fiction, very obvious published fan fiction that I found over the years. I can think of 3 or 4 at the top of my head. 2 of them are Ali Hazelwood's book. Again, this isn't a bad thing per se, but it is just so interesting to see how that's just unfolding in real time and has continued to unfold, because we've seen it, but now we're seeing it. Hey, is any of this making sense? Am I making sense, or am I just rambling? I don't really have much else to say, much else on the list. really, I just wanted to get on here and talk to you guys about Summerween, because when did we start that? Like, now I know that it was circa 2012, like on the Disney Channel, but I don't remember that being a thing. So go ahead and leave down in the comments down below if you guys are reading anything this Summerween, if you're partaking in Summerween. I'm excited. Maybe within the next couple of weeks, couple episodes, we'll talk about the fall TBR. You know, fall is a big deal around here. And by around here, I mean in this entire booktube YouTube community. So excited about that. That wraps up today's Into the Word Garden episode. Thank you for listening as always. You're a great co-host. Okay, love to see it. I'll see you when you clock in with me next week.